Welcome back to my channel. Today, we embark on a journey through the landscape of our deepest fears and the mantra that challenges us to conquer them. Face the fear and do it anyway. In this video, we'll unravel the layers of this powerful statement, exploring its meaning and how it can be practically applied in everyday life. Thank you for your continuous support and for engaging with these explorations. Today, we dive deep into the powerful mantra, face the fear and do it anyway. Let's unpack this together. What does it really mean to face the fear and do it anyway? This phrase, seemingly simple, holds a depth that warrants a closer look. Let's dissect it, shall we? First, consider the segment, Face the Fear. This isn't about denial or suppression. Rather, it's an invitation to acknowledge fear's existence fully. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, heart pounding, palms sweating. Facing the fear means looking down into that abyss and recognizing the sensations and emotions that arise rather than turning away. Now, let's explore Do It Anyway. This is the action step. It does not require waiting for fear to disappear magically. On the contrary, it involves moving forward with the fear as your companion. It's like deciding to jump into that cold, intimidating water, not because the fear has diminished, but because the leap is worth it despite the fear. Why is this approach significant? When you confront your fears, you engage with life's challenges instead of avoiding them. This confrontation is not merely about overcoming specific fears, but about growing and expanding as a person. Each time you face a fear and act in spite of it, you build resilience and confidence. You prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you might have believed. Understanding this can transform the way you approach challenges, embracing fear as a part of the journey rather than an obstacle to avoid reshapes not only your personal experiences, but also how you perceive the world around you. Let's take a flight back in time with the Wright brothers. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, two brothers, Orville and Wilbur Wright, were captivated by the dream of human flight. Despite their humble beginnings as bicycle shop owners in Dayton, Ohio, they harbored a towering ambition to conquer the skies. Initially, their endeavors met with skepticism and ridicule. The very idea of a flying machine was dismissed by many as fanciful and dangerous. Each failed attempt and crash was a public testament to the risks they were taking. Fear of failure was a constant companion in their journey, yet it never grounded their aspirations. Persistence was their co-pilot. With each mishap, the Wright brothers returned to their workshop, refining and rethinking their designs. They studied the behavior of birds, understanding lift and aerodynamics, and tirelessly tweaked their prototypes. Their resilience was fueled not by the absence of fear, but by the passion to overcome it. Finally, on a chilly December morning in 1903 at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, their efforts took flight. The Wright Flyer lifted off the ground, and for 12 seconds, Orville Wright was airborne, covering 120 feet. This historic flight didn't just rewrite the records, it redefined human potential and opened a new chapter in transportation and aviation. Their fear didn't disappear, they simply chose to rise above it. Now, let's zoom into a more relatable scenario. Public speaking. Imagine standing in front of an audience, all eyes fixed on you, waiting for you to speak. Your hands tremble, your throat tightens, and your mind races. This isn't just a nightmare for some. It's a real and palpable fear known as glossophobia, which affects approximately 75% of individuals to varying degrees. Take Sarah, for instance, a young professional who dreaded even the thought of speaking in public. Her journey began with small, shaky presentations at work, where she felt her ideas were less heard due to her nervous delivery. But Sarah knew that to climb the career ladder, she had to face this fear head on. She started by joining a local Toastmasters club, a step that threw her directly into the world of public speaking. At first, Sarah stumbled through her speeches, her voice barely above a whisper, but as she attended more sessions, her confidence began to build. She learned to harness her nervous energy rather than let it paralyze her. Over time, her presentations became clearer, her voice steadier, and her presence more commanding. For those of you who find yourself in Sarah's shoes, consider these actionable tips. First, understand that nervousness is normal. Accept it and prepare thoroughly. Know your material inside out so your confidence in your content can override your nerves. Second, practice in a safe environment. This could be a public speaking club or even in front of friends and family. The key is consistent exposure. Third, focus on the message you are conveying, not on yourself. This shift in focus can reduce self-consciousness, making you more effective in your delivery. Finally, visualize success. Sports psychologists swear by this technique for athletes, and it works just as well for public speakers. Like them, you too can turn your fear into a stepping stone. Now, let's shift gears and talk about a common fear: driving. For many, the mere thought of getting behind the wheel in heavy traffic or navigating unfamiliar areas can trigger a wave of anxiety. This fear can be particularly crippling as driving is often a necessity in our daily lives. To illustrate how one can overcome this fear, let's take a look at John's journey. John, a young man from a small town, had always been petrified of driving. The hustle and bustle of city traffic felt like chaos to him, and the thought of being in control of a vehicle was overwhelming. However, when he landed a job in the city, he knew he had to face his fear. He began by taking driving lessons in a controlled environment with a professional instructor. The initial lessons were fraught with stumbles and mistakes, but with each lesson, his understanding of the vehicle and the rules of the road improved. He gradually started driving in low traffic areas, slowly exposing himself to more complex driving situations. This exposure, coupled with his increasing skill, began to chip away at his fear. He also used visualization techniques, imagining himself driving confidently and safely. Over time, John transformed from a fearful beginner to a confident professional driver. If you find yourself grappling with a similar fear, consider following in John's footsteps. Start with professional driving lessons, gradually expose yourself to different driving conditions, and visualize success. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes during this process. It's part of the learning curve. Like John, you too can conquer your fear and take the driver's seat. Your journey to overcoming your fear of driving starts now. Scene 6, contemporary example. Public speaking. Why is it too daunting for us to confront our fears? The answer, it seems, is buried deep inside our brains. The amygdala, a small yet powerful brain region, is at the heart of our fear response. This almond-shaped cluster of neurons has a significant role in emotion interpretation, especially of fear. When faced with a menacing situation, the amygdala shifts into high gear, triggering a series of bodily reactions: quickened heartbeat, sweaty palms. So, what separates those who spring into action when afraid from those freeze? The distinction often lies in our previous encounters with the fear and how we respond to it. That's where exposure therapy enters the picture. Therapy is a mental health treatment designed to urge individuals to confront their fears in a systematic, gradual manner. The goal is to reduce the individual's sensitivity to the source of their fear, gradually diminishing the extensive control it exerts over them. Starting small is crucial. For example, if someone has a fear of public speaking, they could begin by simply rehearsing their speech in front of a mirror, then progress to speaking in front of a small group, and eventually to large audience. Each step increases confidence and decreases the grip of fear. It's crucial to remember that fear confrontation is a deeply personal journey that varies from person to person. Some may find certain techniques more beneficial, while others may need to try out a variety of methods. Small strides can result in significant shifts in how you manage fear. Scene 7. Psychological insights. Equipped with wisdom, how can you begin to tackle your fears right now? Picture fear as a thick, ominous mist. It can appear immense and unbreakable until you cast a beam of light through it. That ray, it's action, precise, tiny strides that slice through the haze of worry and uncertainty. Start by pinpointing a fear that feels handleable. Maybe it's voicing your opinions in discussions, or perhaps it's striking up a dialogue with an unfamiliar person. The magnitude of the fear is not what matters. It's your readiness to face it. Begin with minute fears, and the momentum you create will equip you to confront bigger fears. Now think about maintaining a diary. This is no ordinary diary. Envision it as a record of your voyage through unknown seas. Every entry signifies a fear tackled, the emotions linked with it, and the results, anticipated and unexpected. In the long run, this journal will not only chart your journey, but also underline trends and development. It stands as a tribute to your valor and a handy instrument for introspection. Broadcasting your journey can amplify its effect. Discuss your encounters with your friends or seek out a group of people who think alike. These dialogues can offer immense reassurance. They make you realize that you're not alone in this battle against fear. Every shared tale is a strand in a broader fabric of shared bravery. Encouragement and empathy from others can act as potent triggers for evolution. Remember, every act of bravery, no matter the size, is a stride towards a more free life. Each time you face a fear, you whittle away at the walls that restrict you. And with each wall that crumbles, you broaden the scope of your potential. Every fear overcome is a triumph over your limitations. So step up today, confront a tiny fear, jot it down, share your experience, and observe as your world expands slightly more, one courageous step at a time. In the 8th segment, titled Encouragement and Actionable Tips, we've unearthed numerous insights about confronting fears and pushing beyond our comfort zone. From the daring triumphs of the Wright brothers to the intimidating hurdle of public speaking, each tale is interlinked with same core message, leveraging fear to incite growth and innovation. The mantra, face the fear and do it anyway, goes beyond just being a phrase. It's a compelling call to action that could potentially lead to remarkable outcomes. Grasping the psychological mechanisms we analyzed, such as the fight or flight response, and the advantages of progressively confronting our fears, provides us with the strategies to not merely cope, but truly vanquish our anxieties. Keep in mind, every minor step forward marks a significant movement towards overcoming the fears that once appeared unbeatable. Now, the ball is in your court to apply these revelations. Start with smaller tasks, maintain consistency, and observe you metamorphose challenges into victories. If you found this valuable, subscribe, smash the like button, and ring the notification bell to stay updated with my latest uploads. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, face your fears and do it anyway.